Hello fam. In today's video we are going to be exploring the benefits of sage and how to use it to cleanse the negative energy from your aura. Well, actually I think this is some kind of fern, so who knows what that's going to smell like. Not to mention that I once set my parents' garage on fire. You know what, let's just take a look at a different kind of sage. The sage from Unquiet Hands. All jokes aside, I love the name for this new design because for many of us, the art of spinning can act as a reset button. It can reduce stress, improve our mood, distract us from negative thoughts, and for me, even help me focus in the office. The feedback and sound of the spin combined with the optical illusion that our brains create by being unable to process signals fast enough is all very therapeutic. If you are familiar with Unquiet Hands, you know they are rock stars of design and have arguably the best presentation package out there. The Sage arrived with all the usual suspects: a cool reusable gearbox, the classiest certificate of authenticity in the game, a swag bag with microfiber cloth, a holographic sticker, and an extra bearing, the legendary Jupiter R188. Then you get a bar-sized panda pouch with thick felt and microfiber lining. Many of us are very protective of our treasures, so having a quality pouch right out of the gate is like crack for us OCD who EDC in the LBC on the DL. Oh yeah, there is a spinner too. Before we get into it, I have to admit something. I've been enjoying bar spinners more and more lately, but this Sage is the design that might have just tipped the scale for me over Try designs, believe it or not. I'm not looking for an intervention, I'm just evolving, I think. This version is the bead blasted titanium and the finish is spectacular. Sometimes a bead blast can feel gritty or chalky, but this one is silky smooth. The grips on the Sage are my favorite of all Unquiet Hands grips. They look similar to the Echo grips, but the inner donut ring isn't nearly as raised, so it creates a much deeper concave surface. Towards the outside, there is a distinct peak edge that gives you a confident feel when pinching. Beyond that, there is substantial rounding and even a chamfer on the underside of the grips. When you have a grip design like this that goes beyond the body, it's very important, as far as comfort, to take those extra machining steps. Unquiet Hands did not disappoint, and the comfort level has me over the moon. That was for you, Tom. With the grips off, you can see the slip-fit bearing style that allows the bearing to remain flush with the body, which is my preferred style. I've left the stock stainless steel 10-ball R188 installed as opposed to the Jupiter they include, which I'll explain in a bit. The waists have bumps that match up nicely to the grips, creating a sense of continuity along the entire side. The arms have ultra comfortable rounding on all the edges, and those arms taper towards the end. The length is about 1.75 inches, and the thickest part is a little more than half an inch, so it has a nice chunky feel. Being titanium, this Sage only weighs in at 1.5 ounces, so it can easily be an all-day driver for comfort. And oh my word, is the Sage comfortable to fidget with. Everywhere my finger lands allows me to get a silky smooth and powerful pull. The most satisfying flick is when my finger lands on the corner of the backside there. That seems to provide the most power for me. From a physics point of view, I believe the scientific term is Yahtzee. Even when I brick at stopping the spin on an arm and my finger falls down here to the waist, the design lets me flick from there comfortably without feeling awkward or pokey. It also really helps that these grips give you such a secure hold. I'm sure we've all been there trying to do a powerful flick and the whole thing shoots out of your hand like a rocket. Not with the Sage. As I said earlier, I've left the stock bearing installed instead of swapping it for the quieter Jupiter, which is rare for me to do. Depending on the bearing and the metals of the grips and body, the sound signature from the spin can be pretty different. With this titanium Sage, the sound has a muffled, chirpy aspect with minor feedback that is really pleasing to me. Let's see if the mic can pick it up. I threw on some stainless steel grips and the pitch was lower and sounded more scratchy, which I did not care for. So I'm not going to change a thing on this configuration because I find it to be perfect. So yeah, the Sage from Unquiet Hands is yet another heavy hitter in their growing list of legends. It has been my primary spinner for the past 3 days, and it's going to continue to get a large portion of my attention. I heard a rumor that standard metals are going to be available again, so definitely keep an eye out for that. I'd also love some exotic options in the future, especially like tungsten. The best way to stay informed about Unquiet Hands releases is to join their Facebook group, which will be linked below, along with their website. Later.